Yes, friends. Now, in this video, we will start from the data connectivity. Start with data connection. Data connection relationship. This is available only for 2013, not for 2010. So make sure that you want to use this recording with using of this functionality. You can see here in a 2010, you can't see here data relationship. This functionality is only available when we have 2030, right? So make sure that if you have a 2013 version, then you can use this functionality. So if you want to use this functionality, then you want to particular data with the functionality. What do you mean by the relationship? Generally, relationship, this is a fundamental of the Access, not for Excel. So make sure that this is a functionality of the Excel, not for Access. Right. Now, if you want to use this functionality, so you want to first clear about the relationship. Now you can see here is a sales table, here is a product table, here is a customer table. All the value is available from here, right? So now, if you want to use this functionality, on the basis of this functionality, I want to use the basic functionality. For example, if I am using this functionality with using of the relationship, then you can use this functionality. Here is a sales, product and customer. Three data is connectivity yourself. Sales is connect with the product and product is connect with the customer, right? Then we want to create a combined relationship with using of this table, combined pivot table. What do you mean by the relationship? Here is a sales ID, time, here is a customer ID, product ID and quantity. It means that sales table is connect with the product and customer, both the value. Sales table is a connect with product and customer, both the table. Sales table, production table and the customer table. Both the value, it will be simultaneously working this way. Now, if I am using this value, then what can I do? Sales ID. What do you mean by the relationship? When I am clicking on the relationship, at that time, if the relationship is available, he can find the relationship. If the relationship is not available, he cannot find the relationship. Here I am clicking on the relationship and relationship finding this value. Here is a active from sales customer ID to customer ID. Here is a sales table is a main table. It will be connect with the customer and product, both the value. Sales product ID connect with the product ID, right? Then sales and production. Sales with connect with customer, sales with connect with product. There are many types of relationship is available. First is one-to-one. One to many. Many to one. This is a relationship fundamentally of the Access. And we want to only using from the, when we use the Power Pivot, Power BI, at that time relationship it must be when we are using with the big data, that functionality is useful. One to one, one to many, many to one, many to many. This all the functionality is basically useful from your side. So make sure that this all functionality is using from your side. So you can use it. What do you mean by the one to one? For example, here we will have a employee table. Here is a employee ID, employee name. Then here is all the data of the employee address, employee mobile number, name, ID, name, address, and the mobile number. This is all are the functionality. ID, name, address, and the mobile number. This all are the functionality. Now in the salary table, we want to use if both the value is simultaneously used. If I'm giving employee underscore ID, here is a basic salary, then HRA, then D, right? Now what can I want? one employee connect with the another employee. If it is primary, what do you mean by the primary key? Primary key, it means that this value is unique value. This is not a repeated value or not a null value. It means that null and duplicate not allowed. Null value and the duplicate, yani many times repeated entry not allowed. For example, employee ID and salary. If I am giving here primary key, right? Then if I am a data entry on the employee table, for example, here is an employee table, employee underscore ID, then employee name. Yes, what can we do if data is in this way? Then copy this data, Control C, and paste here, transpose this value, ID, name, address, and mobile number. Here is a employee ID is a primary key. It is considered as a one field. Then I will write down here. It's a primary key. If I'm writing here, employee ID 1, 2, 3, employee name X, Y, Z. Then employee address. Then employee mobile number. Write down value is here. Employee primary key, employee name, employee address, and employee mobile number, right? Now, I want to giving this salary. Employee ID is connectivity between the two tables. Here is a basic salary, HRA, and key. In a salary table, it is not a primary key because we have an issue of the salary, particularly month-wise. It means that multiple entry, it will be allowed. So if I'm given here 1, then basic salary is this one. HRA of HRA, for example, I will give him from the 15% and DA is 150, for example. If I'm writing here 2, this is a fundamentally, I want to show here what is the exactly meaning of the relationship. So you have to basic idea about the what do you mean by the relationship. You have to idea about this one. Then I will give it 140 and here it will be total. Now you can see here, I can do here is a one another time because this is a monthly salary, basic salary 18% and DA is for example 180. Now you can see here one entry is multiple times. What do you mean by the 1 to 1 and 1 to many? If, for example, if this entry is not available. If this entry is not available. So this is called 1 to 1. If you are here, you will be stored the data from yearly, then it will be 1 to 1. But if you are stored the data about monthly, at that time, one entry employee ID 1, it's come from 2 times. That's why it is called as 1 to many relationship. This is called as 1 to many. You can see here the symbol also available from the line symbol 1 to many relationship. Insert and shape. We want to add a shape from line. This is what this is called as 1 to many relationship. So you want to use the 1 to many relationship on this criteria. This is called employee salary 1 to 1. If one comes 2 times, this is 1 to many. If one comes 1 times, this is called as 1 to 1. So now you have a clear idea about what is a 1 to many, what is a 1 to 1. Many to one and many to many. Many to one, it means that many IDs connect with the salary only one ID. This is called many to one. If it is many to many, it means that many employee ID, no any primary key. If any primary key, here is a primary key, here is a not primary key, then is this called as many to one. Both the places is not primary key, both the working simultaneously, both the come from multiple times, then it's called as many to many. So how we can consider this value? With this primary key, it means that null or duplicate value is not allowed from your side. This is called as primary key. There are lots of key available in the access strings. Primary key, foreign key, all these keys available. But in our criteria, primary key fundamental is very important. So I will discuss with you the primary key. Foreign key, it means that the data will be allowed it here. This is called as foreign key. Foreign key, it's one that one to many and many to one, right? If I am a create employee salary and next is performance, right? Then here we will write down employee underscore ID, then employee underscore ID and performance underscore rate. Here we will write down 1, 2, and 3. For example, performance rate is 50%, 60%, 70%, right? This is a performance your rate and this is your ID. So first, second, and third performance rate is available. So now if you want to use on the basis of the performance rate, here you can see here if it is a primary key. For example, here is it's a primary key because we cannot give the second times this value. So I can give you the primary. So now if I'm giving the foreign key and giving the relationship at that time, you want to give one 1-to-1 relationship. This is called as 1-to-1. So now you can click, now you are clear here. This is a 1-to-1 and this is a called a 1-to-many relationship, right? This is 1-to-1 and this is 1-to-many relationship. So now you have to clear idea about this one, 1-to-many and 1-to-1 relationship. 1-to-many and 1-to-1. Now on the basis of employee ID, you can now check here employee ID is 1 on the salary. For example, if I'm writing here 1, if I'm giving the relationship on this 3 tables, then we can easily connect with these 3 tables. On the basis of this one, we can only write down 1. On the basis of 1, we have to find out salary also and performance rate. If I'm writing here the 1, then I am knowing about the salary, and on basis of the performance, we can particularly search this performance with this value. So now you have to clear idea about employee ID, employee name, employee address, employee mobile number. On the basis of this one, we want to find out the performance rate also. So you have to clear idea about this value. If I'm creating this value, you can see this is all are the shortcut key of the Excel. We want to use the shortcut key. On the basis of the shortcut key, we have to create in Excel very fast valuable table. So we want to use this. For example, if I'm using this home tab and I'm pressing here the alter, then alter control H is the shortcut key of N, control and page layout, formula, date, review, view. Nidisha, this is a particularly, you can see here, this is a particularly new tab which you want to clear by you. Then K2s, this is also another relationship. This is also used. We want to press escape, then functionality is clear. Now you have want to clear this data one to one, one to many, many to one, many to many. This is all are the relationship with this data. So null and duplicate value, it will be not allowed. Here is a sales data, here is a product data, here is a customer data, and here is a combined pivot table. We have an employee salary and performance table. Here is a, you can use is a salary, sales, product, and customer table. Here is a particularly we can create an employee ID in a three tables, and here we can create a salary ID in a B table. So it will be connect with the relationship. Now you can see here sales ID, time, customer, product ID, quantity, and here we can now only for theoretical, but we can see what is the relationship. Product, product ID, category, name, size, price, unit per stock, and customer. Customer particularly num ID, customer name, gender, area, and profession. This is all other value. We want to find this value. On the basis of this value, we can find out the other value also, right? Now, if you want to create a data relationship, now you can see here. You can add the new relationship also. First, select the table, data model, customer, sales. Here is a sales is main table. Here is you can see here is a foreign key. Here is a primary key. If you want to add it here, you can see here data model sales customer ID and data model customer ID. Here you can see here in the sales table main sales ID, customer ID, product ID. Right? Then customer ID here is a primary key. Here is a product ID is primary key, and this is all are the foreign key. You have now in this theoretical part, you have now clear about what is a primary key and what is a foreign key. Foreign keys mean that this is all our relations, and primary key this is not a null or duplicate value. So value it will be stored from your side. This is very basic one. Data, then go for the relationship. First table, first basic table is a sales table. Sales customer ID, this is your customer ID. This is foreign key, and customer ID, this is a primary key. Right? In the second table, product ID is a primary key. Product ID is a primary key. Sales product ID is a foreign. Now you can see easily with this data, with this value. So you have to now create a relationship this value. So we can, if it is deactivate, we can deactivate. If it is activate, this is activate. Why want to we are create a relationship? Because we want here the combined pivot table of three tables. Here you can see customer table, product table, and the sales table. Three tables with using of this pivot table. So relationship, that if the relationship is available, then we want to create a combined pivot table. Otherwise, else combined pivot table create it very difficult from your side, right? So now here is a combined pivot table from these three values. Here is a customer gender value, product category, and sales quantity. You can see here this value. Now we want to create this pivot table. You have to now clear about this one. We can create the three different values. First, we want to create a simple pivot table. Then we want to create a different pivot table. Use external data source. Use this workbook data source. New worksheet. If you want to use external data source, select the table range. External data source. If you want to choose the connection from here, there is a table one connectivity is connection on this computer is table one connectivity is connectivity with your here existing worksheet, new worksheet, select table range, use data model. Then if you use the workbook data model, then what can be how to create a pivot table? Workbook data model is available, then how we want to create a pivot table? You can see here customer table, product table, and sales table. This is called data model. Now, friends, we after the macro, we want to next in VBA, Power BI, Power Pivot, all are the functionality. But before use the Power BI and Power Pivot, we want to first all the clarify what about the relationship. So all the relationship is coming from your side. So now you have to clear idea. For example, if I'm not using this one, if I am using the next functionality, it's a pivot table, not a data model for external data source, table range. Here we will not have only one table, we have a multiple table. Add this data model, choose whether you want to add a multiple tables, add this data model, otherwise else you can use this data, right? Okay. Data source reference is not valid. Here you cannot use this reference model. If you use the workbook data model, you can use this. If you want to use the new worksheet, then it is new worksheet. If it is existing worksheet, it means that sheet number 3. So now you want, yes, in the previous session, we want to use the external data source also. External data source, it means that we want to use access table here. We want to use word table here and create the pivot table. At that time, we want to create the pivot table. If you want to use the external data source, on the basis of this, we want to use the predefined, we want to create in your location. Now, if you want to use this existing pivot table and use this data model and okay. Customer, product, and sales table here. For example, customer gender value is in row, male, female. Here is unit price. Price here, otherwise sales gender is here. Unit price here. And sum of total quantity, right? If you not unit price, if you want to use the category, then you want to use the category. This is biscuit female value is 269, male values. You can see here all the data is in different pivot data and different table we want to give the relationship. So if you want to use the relationship on the basis of this one, we can use here. But the question is that if this is the same Excel worksheet, if it is a different Excel worksheet, then I can work. Yes, you can see here insert pivot table external data sources coming from your side. Whenever external data source is coming from your side, you can create your own pivot table with using of this one. Now you can see here we can create a particular chart. On the basis of this chart, we want to create, if you want to use the chart, you want to click here and create a chart. So chart, you want to create this particular chart. This is clear particular chart. On the basis of this chart, we want to clear male, female chart values coming. Now you want to use a particular data. For example, if I'm using chart style, we want to use this chart slide. Then change the chart type. If you want to use the change the chart type, we can see here, but in the second way. Format. This is a format data. This is the analyze parts of data. This is designing part of data, quick layout, and the change color, add elements, data labels you have inside the and. If you want to use this one, so you have to clearly view this data table. So if you want to use this analyze slicer value, you want to use the slicer value. Here we want to only go gender value, then slicer this value. If you want to use the female value, if you want to use the male value, if you want to use the color of the change of color, this one. If the baby color is, I think so, pink. The exact pink color. Yes, here is allowed pink color. If it is clear male, then this one color. If it is female, then this one color. I think so. This is very dark color. So if you want to click here male, then male value. If you want to click here female, then female value. Yes, you can clear the professional value here. If it is professional, you can see female professional, retired, salaried, self-employed, unemployed, all the values here. And we want to also create particular slicings of this value, slicer of this value, insert the slicer value on this professional. I will create a professional value if female and professional. Both the filtering is available, female value and professional value, female value and unemployed value. If I'm select two value, female and retired value, then two value chart is coming from your side. So this is a basic chart and you want to use this chart. For example, unemployed, employed, this is an orange color. This is your orange color. You want to give this color also. You want to use this color. So you have to clear idea about this one. Here we will write down blue color. So if it is male, if it is female, if it is male, here we will write down professional color. You will be write down on the same color. If we want to fill this color, you want to fill this color. This is a professional value. Now we will use this design option value. So we will use this option, particular data. With using of this one, we can create a particular chart value. Here is a pink color is not available. So we want to give its color change. So on the basis of this one, we want to create. Now we want to change the chart type. Different color with using of different functionality. So now we want to add a different field, different data with using of relationship, with using of pivot table. First, we will clarify the relationship, then we clarify the Power BI and Power Pivot. Right. Now, the question is that if we have Excel 2010, then we have some relationship data is available or not. Yes, Excel 2010 relationship is also available, but you have to make the add-ins of this value, add this value. If you want to add this value, you can add the particular data with this value. If you are adding this particular data, at that time, you can add the particular data with this value. If you want to add this particular data with this value, you can add the data with the value. We can using data with the value by using of this one. Male and female. Professional, retired, salary, self-employed, unemployed. This is self-employed. This is male and female. This is value. So now you have to clear idea about. You can also create a pivot table. So if pivot table is attractive, then you can see here the data, it will be stored in very attractive form, right? So make sure that all the data in attractive form, it is very creative with your side. You can create a different design. If you want to use in an outline form, it is outline form. If you want to use in tabular form, it is tabular form. If you want to use the grand total, subtotal, this is all are in compact form. You can create, but this all are option. You have to know about that. You only know about the what is the relationship, data and relationship. This is very much better from your side, right? Sales customer ID, customer ID, product ID, sales product ID, and product ID. This is all are the data. With using of this data, we want to create our functionality. So now you want to have a clear idea about the data with the functionality. With using of data, this functionality, we want to create another data with this functionality. So sales customer ID and customer ID, product ID and product ID. This is a very data attribute from your side. So you want to create this data related table, and you first you know about that what is a primary key and what is a foreign key. If you want to give the wrong places, for example, if you want to give the reverse, then it will be not work. So reverse side, it will be not work. and particular, if you are using customer ID here, if the customer ID is foreign key and sales customer ID here, this is wrong place. You want to place the data into wrong location. So first, location is very important. If you are doing this one, you have to particular location of this value is very important from your side. So make sure that location with the value, you have to put out this value. When you are put outing this value, on the basis of this value, we want to create a customer ID and sales customer ID you want to create. Here we will go the next, if it is sales customer ID and product customer ID. So now you have to clear idea about data and relationship. But if you want to higher version of Excel, then you want to easily use the Power Pivot data. Here you can see this is Excel 2013 and Power Pivot option is not available. But you want to use the Excel 2019, then Power Pivot is, yes, we can add in the Excel 2013. We can, I am not saying that you cannot add the Power Pivot in Excel 2010. You can add it, you can add this. But on the uses of this one, we cannot add the particular data on the particular basis, right? So we want to clear this data with this functionality. So make sure that this functionality with using of the particular relationship, if you want to use the relationship, this is very useful. So first, going from the Power Pivot, Power BI, we want to create this relationship of data. So make sure that relationship of this data is very important from your side. So first clear about the primary key, foreign key. After primary key, foreign key, we can create the relationship. So we have quickly revised this. First, we have a three tables relationship. We cannot say three tables is only available. You can create a 5 tables, 4 tables, 6 tables, 8 tables. But if the relationship is available, then and then you can create the pivot table. Otherwise, else you cannot create the pivot table. So make sure that before creating your relationship, first you can identify in the pen and paper if what is a primary key, what is a relationship, and what is a data. Here you can see when we are a particular check here, this is a primary key in first table, foreign key in the second table, right? Here is all the data is coming from one table. So this is all are the foreign key, right? This is foreign key, this is foreign key. And in a product and customer table, if I'm saying here, this is, if I'm creating here the sales ID, then sales ID we want to create here. So this is called the foreign key. So first we will identify the primary key and foreign key, and we will identify the relationship and Power BI and Power Pivot. Otherwise, as we cannot create this one. Thank you, friends.